Okay, basically where I left off in part 1 is basically God set aside for his natural ruling class, okay, governance over all of humanity. Okay. When you get rid of me and don't have a kid, right? When people do connect to their brain, they realize that it is wrong for them to govern. It is wrong for them to be alive. Okay? When you truly start to break things down, this is why people commit seppuku, right? They are a dishonored group of people. And if they truly were living in a reality and valued honor and wisdom, they would say, it's wrong for me to be alive. I have stolen from the wisest and the best martial artists and their right to govern over everyone. And even if we live in a communist society, I'm better off killing myself. Okay. So if they don't get there, then they've fallen short of righteousness and they're not connecting to God. They're not connecting to true righteousness. So also, the long-term scientific thieving means they would have to be retarded or naturally blind not to see that it is wrong for them to present themselves as a decent person. Okay? It is wrong for them to pretend they're martial artists. It is wrong for anyone to take on a position of governance. And ultimately, it is dishonorable just to be alive. Okay, so the governing class argument, the eugenic right-wing argument that is openly made and the left wing that's subtly made, is that they have taken care and civilized and helped these people, so they should be allowed to force them to do it their way, including having sex. If you really analyze the argument the government is making, the eugenicists were making, and so on and so forth, they have the right to sterilize them in their minds. They believe that so on and so forth, okay? That they have a right. It's connected to having sex with the retarded lady. For the same reason that they believe that a man who takes an attractive, mentally challenged woman and cares for her and bathes her and so on should be able to have sex with her. It's the same reason they believe they should be able to control the sexual behavior of everyone. These are a civilizing secret society, civilizing social clubs and governing classes and social groups of people, right? And so it's the white man's land argument and so on and so forth. Well, they're basically fuming right now and having trouble communicating this idea, but I believe that you should know exactly what the fuck I'm getting at, and you're an idiot if you don't. Anyway. So what we have here is the LGBT spectrum of views. It's one thing to be gay. It's another thing to insist on an LGBT core for society. Now let's think about this, okay? Just because you're a straight, white, conservative Christian doesn't mean you aren't using the LGBT core as the scale, as the point of reference, okay? To use technology to define masculinity or providing in a technological society in an information age with all the technology after industrialization and so on and globalism 2.0 and so on and so forth, okay, means you're taking the LGBT argument. It was a bunch of kind of gay Greek guys that come up with this, a bunch of effeminate and hard, kind of King of Hearts kind of men, from Alice in Wonderland, who came up with this technology. So whether you're talking about people should be gay or blur the line and have gender-neutral bathrooms, or you're talking about technology to dominate, to determine masculinity or providing in the society, the core is the LGBT spectrum. And what this creates is two major groups of people. One is females. Right? The females in this society have bad judgment with men. They're more easily tricked. And in regard to how they treat good men, they are bitches, right? Good men finish last. Did I come up with this saying? No. Okay? Am I the only one who understands the importance of martial art heroes? Or is anyone who's seen, an action hero movie knows that I'm right? Okay? Think about it. So the other type is the men who are eager to varying degrees to take advantage of women, right? To use this broken scale to convince a woman that they're a worthy mate, okay? To rape them, to take advantage of them when they're drunk, to take advantage of the mentally ill, to take advantage of the poor, right? I can provide for you. To take advantage of Babylon's system. They're eager to rape women. This is like a bunch of barbarians, like, we want to rape women. And then some gay guys say, hey guys, come on, calm down. We get to plug people in the butt, okay? And you get to take advantage of this situation and they'll come to you. You know, they'll come to you. Instead of running down the hill and raping a few women, we'll set up a system where you can walk down the hill and rape them all. Okay? In varying ways, depending on your fetish. And you can have certain social clubs and political parties that stick up, so to help you stick up for each other and help you do it. Okay? And ultimately, on the highest level of politicking, you basically have LGBT people coercing people into sex, and you have conservatives coercing women into sex and trying to coerce people into behaving in a way that makes them seem like they're more masculine, responsible, moral, and manly. How sick is that? And the neocons kind of prove my point as well, right? Why were they able to go from the left to the right? There's a lot of things that prove my point. You should basically see why I'm right by now. So here I'm putting a few pictures to prove my point. Okay, the movie Alpha, right? Why is this movie called Alpha? You know, Jesus says he's the Alpha and the Omega. This is the sort of halfway between a kind of passive LGBT person, right? Hades' names means the passive, right? And a more kind of conservative Christian values, if you will. Okay, you know, and more of manly kind of Nordic values, kind of barbarian kind of values from Europe, you know, in the old times. Okay, so we look at women, right? One level of it is that they're being tricked and they're wrong. Okay, now we can chop that up to this is some sort of brain function in regards to perceiving things. It's what the evidence suggests. But when they refuse to be corrected, we must look at it as this is immaturity, right? Cowardice basically is immaturity that leads to evil. What is truly the difference between cowardice and immaturity? You know, one accompanies the other, right? The person is afraid to grow up. It's on some Peter Pan bitch shit or something. And of course that goes back to Pan, the Greco-Roman deity, meaning all. And if you look at how these deities are depicted, they are basically like adults that never grew up, you know. And then there's Cupid, right? Why does Psyche with Cupid? Psyche's supposed to represent an adult woman, and Cupid really should be a man. But they're basically, that's what they are. But in the essence of people who embody these people, right? They're little kids that never grew up, who are using a system of mischief and trickery, right, to get over on people. And this is why Enki, right, En means Lord, and Ki is the Sumerian earth goddess, right? It's like a little girl that never grew up that insists on being in charge in a man's body.